The Pasha starts with the words, judges and policemen, you should appoint to you in all of your cities. This is the obligation of having a judicial system, a system that dispenses justice to tell the whole society what is right and what is wrong, so that they may obey the laws of society, and also to create a police force, a group of enforcers to make sure that the law is enforced and that people are not breaking the rules and harming other people through not observing the rules. So this is the Torah obligation of having a judicial system and having a police force. What's interesting though is that when the Torah gives this command, it gives it in the singular. Judges and policemen you should have to you, singular. It's talking to each and every person. And the question is, how can that be? How can it be that each person is obligated to set up a police force or to set up a judicial system? Is this the obligation of the individual, of every individual? Is this not the obligation of the community? In other words, if you live in a society where no one's interested, do you personally have to make sure that there's a police force, there's a system of judges? The Alter of Kelm explains no. Rather, what it's talking about is for our own lives, for our personal lives. A person must have judges. In other words, he must have knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. He has to learn the books. He has to study the books. He has to go to the classes and understand for himself what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. What's the activity that's going to promote his interests in a proper way, in the way that will please Hashem, that fits in with Hashem's desire for the world, and therefore in a way that will succeed. And what is the way that goes against the desire of Hashem, and therefore what's the way that will fail? But it's not enough just to know what's right and to know what's wrong, because often what's right is inconvenient to us. It's something we don't want to do. We don't want to do what's right. It's just uncomfortable to us. We have our own inclinations, our own turnings, our own desires. And therefore we need law enforcers for ourselves also. We have to need an internal system of enforcing what is right. And that can only be done by working on motivation. We have to learn to motivate ourselves. We have to learn to inspire ourselves to do the right thing. That's the way it's going to work. We can't force ourselves. Some people have very strong self-discipline. But if we don't have that, and even those who do have self-discipline, how do they keep it up? How do they initiate it? And that's with this motivation. We need motivation. We need inspiration. We have to look to motivational works. We have to study them. We have to study them continuously. Because the point of a motivational work is that it encourages us, and we forget, when we forget that encouragement, we need to be encouraged again. So we need the motivational works. We need the inspirational works that are going to inspire us to do it, to live like we need to live. We need these works. Let's incorporate them into our everyday. Let's incorporate them into our studies. This is what the sages speak of as Musa. Musa studies. Musa studies are the motivational, inspirational studies that we need. Let's make it a part of our everyday for our every success.